George.
Sit down. No. Sit down.
Jason or Jeremy or Kate, we're short a bit on there's Rob, that's good. Is the superintendent or Mark Furtado, are they going to be joining us?
I'm not sure. I would think so, but I'm not sure.
Yes, Dave.
Dave just came in, good.
So we're at 8.
So we're too short. Where's Jerry? Okay, it is 5:32. I'd like to call the July 13th, 2022 meeting of the Attleboro School Building Committee to order. Thank you for logging on, Terry. You became our quorum.
Thank you.
What is it? As always, because we're remote, we need to call the roll to establish the quorum. So Jeremy, go ahead.
All right, Dave,
Dave Sawyer, we know you're here.
I'll come back to you. Jason,
Good afternoon, everyone.
thank you. Jackie,
Here.
Jerry,
Here.
Oh, good.
Terry,
Here.
Scott,
He's not coming.
Ed,
Here.
Mark,
Here.
Rob,
Here.
Steve, Mike, Andrew, Gail, Jeremy,
Jeremy's here.
Here.
Jay, don't see Jay, Jack,
Here.
Kate,
Here.
and Mayor's not here. So that's a quorum.
So we have a quorum, so we can start our business. As always, we'll approve the minutes from June 15th. Jackie,
Move to approve.
Terry?
Second.
Thank you.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Dave? Are you there, Dave?
Muted.
All right, Jason,
Yes.
Jackie,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Jeremy,
Gonna vote, Jeremy?
Jeremy Gay on the minutes.
Yes, sorry, you cut out. Yes.
No worries. Jack
Yes.
and Kate.
Yes.
Okay, passes unanimously. All right, I'm gonna try not to forget the bills this month, but we'll pass them for now. So I see we are doubly blessed. We have both Steve and Rachel with us tonight. So who's going to take the lead?
Rachel's going to do the construction update.
Okay, go ahead, Rachel.
Can everybody see my screen?
Not yet.
Okay. I think I have to select which one it is. Okay, there we go.
Yeah,
Good? Okay,
Yep.
perfect.
Now we got it.
yep.
Okay, so for construction update this month, so we have the front of the building, which we took over half of the gray lot and we'll be taking over the other half next week. So we're doing the infiltration system that goes under there. Once that's done, we'll do the final paving and sidewalks around that new parking lot. We also have the outdoor classroom going in. So the granite blocks are set and there's pavers going around there. We're working on getting in some of the flagpoles are also in, and then the mow strip along the building is what we're working on this week as well. Going around to the back of the building. So this is where a majority of the site work is left to do. In the cafeteria area, so we have the cafe plaza really shaping up. We started planting the trees that go in between the little sitting walls. We also got this colored concrete horseshoe shaped wall that will have all grass, like a grass lawn in between it. That was placed, and then this whole entire area gets pavers just like the front, and those pavers are going to start next week. Also around back here, we have the bus loop shaping up. So these are the footings for the bus loop, which kind of comes in around here and back out towards the tennis courts for now. That'll be the temp condition when school starts. But those site walls are going in. We also have this western parking lot here where the infiltration are going now that the pool building is down. And some general curbing going in as well along the shop areas. So that's the majority of the site work. Going into the building. So we have this is the servery right off the cafeteria. All of that equipment is in now and just some final MEP connections to this equipment. But that's shaping up well. Into the cafeteria where most of the furniture is being staged right now. The collaboration stairs, the wood caps are on. We just need the flooring and the stair treads wrapped up there, which will be starting next week. Going into the gym. So bleachers are done, gym equipment is done. We are wrapping up the millwork surrounds that lead to the weight room and the fitness room. All the testing and air balancing is done in here. And once those millwork rounds are in, we'll be able to take out all this temp protection. Gym. And then the auditorium, so the seats, which had a back ordered fabric, all the seats are now here. We've been installing them last week and this week. So you can see all the upper row seating, all the stanchions are in, and we just got to pop the seats in the backs in. And then down here on the first floor, we have most of the seats in the back. But the stage flooring is all done. That wrapped up this month. So if you're on the call last month, this was plywood, but now it's the final stage flooring. Next week, we have the drapes and the theatrical lights coming in, and that'll pretty much wrap up the auditorium. Going into the shop spaces. So all of the flooring is done in the shops except for automotive. This is the electrical shop. So you can see the the houses for the kids to practice, the students to practice electrical rough-in. So these are actually permanent, but those are in. So this is the electrical shop, and we're starting to put in all the final equipment here and tie it all in. The bistro, so over in the mall area, the bistro is all done, just waiting for the final furniture to come in. So that area is looking really good. Got the bakery counter all set up as well. And then further down in the mall area, the all glass storefronts have come in. So that kind of finishes off these spaces. So graphics, salon, all those areas are just wrapping up with that all glass installation. Other than that,
I don't know if you have the picture, but when I was in there yesterday, the cosmetology equipment is fairly impressive.
yes, I can open that up. Hold on 1 second. Yep, so we have all the hairdressing stations. And then in the back here, we have the pedicure chairs are going to go over here. Those are added to the project, and we have the manicure station set up. You can see one right there. And then like the hair washing stations are kind of off to the back here. Yep. Is there any questions or any other areas you would like to see the progress of? We kind of pulled up a couple main areas.
Yeah. Anybody have any questions? This picture doesn't do it justice, but the hardscape in front of the building is very impressive. And I compliment Craig and his design team, and I compliment Consigli and their construction team for putting this together. It really, really pops when you're standing there.
Definitely.
Rachel, what about the roof? Is the warranty in place?
So we did have the final walkthrough. When we got the final field report, we are just, all the items on the final field report have been addressed. So we are looking for the final warranty now.
Okay, and in terms of the schedule, yesterday, the superintendent and central office and the principal and I think maybe Jason as well, they all moved into the new building, correct?
Yes, they did.
And soon they will actually have phone and internet service, right?
Correct. I think if not, I don't think they got it today, but I think tomorrow or Friday.
Excellent. Anybody have any other questions?
No.
So we're still on time for the first day of school on August 29th?
Yes.
Yes.
That's outstanding, especially because they have no place to go. Because next door is not exactly habitable as a school anymore, correct?
No, we're going in there pretty soon. Yeah, we're taking over.
Okay, so where do we want to go next? To the change order logs and transfers? Where do you want to go, Steve or Rachel?
Yep, let's go to GCO 22. There are two GCRs associated with this. First is GCR 160 that adjusted some grading at the loading dock, between the loading dock and the pump station that we had installed as part of bid package number 1. That is worth $8,515.61. And then GCR 164 added some phone lines and some phones and headsets per the request of Jonathan and his group. That was $6,607.57. Total GCO 22, $15,123.18. Both of these GCRs were fully vetted by Consigli, KBA, Skanska, and any consultant.
Anybody have any questions? So do we need to take a vote, Jeremy, to approve that?
GCRs or the GCTs we have historically, yeah.
Okay,
Jack, can we vote? Can we go through the one contingency transfer too and vote on them both at the same time?
I think the fewer roll call votes we take, the better.
Okay. So one contingency transfer, GCT 062, and this was the overhead door frame and sill for the maintenance edition. It was never bought out. When we bought out the door, we didn't get the frame and the sill because it's a separate contractor. So that is worth $9,617. Again, that's a contingency. We had separate contingency just for the maintenance edition, so that doesn't increase the GMP.
Okay. And while we're at it, there's some, on the agenda, there's some retainage reduction requests. You want to talk about those?
Sure. So one is a complete reduction from 5% down to 0%. It is Commonwealth Scaffolding. They're the subcontractor that installed what we were calling the dance floor in the auditorium that allowed the workers to do all the work. They have no other work on the project. They basically just furnished that and then took it down. So their retainage is $10,105. And then we have 23 other subcontractors that we would like to reduce from 5% down to 2.5%. So this still holds money in case there's punch list or other work to complete, but it's a list that we shared with KBA and Skanska, and everyone agreed that they're at a point where there's significant work complete, very little risk associated with what they have remaining, nothing that their remaining 2.5% would not cover in case something went sideways. I can read every single sub.
No, I don't think you need to.
Okay.
I just want to ask Mary Ann, do you concur?
Yes, I do.
And Craig, do you concur?
I don't see Craig anymore.
Joe?
Joe Milani would be
Joe's
the
up.
one to ask.
KBA concurs. We've reviewed it and we've sent our review to consider. Yep.
And to be clear for everyone, when it says July requisition there, that is the requisition that covers the month of July. So this retainage reduction would happen in the next requisition that this body approves at our August meeting.
Correct. Thank you, Jeremy. So it's roughly 1,495,181 ish.
Okay. While you're at it, Steve, do you want to address where we are on punch list and working our way through that?
Yeah, Rach, any chance you could pull up our chart from this morning? Making good progress is the short version of it. Working our way down through 4th, 3rd, 2nd floor where the classroom space is.
Yep. So we have about 100 punch list items left on each of the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd. So right now we have about 1,500 that we're working through, and we have about 1,500 closed. We still have to punch out the main entrance. some of the stairwells in the back buildings, and then the kitchen, the caf, and the gym and the auditorium. And the shops. So I would say we're about 60% of the way punched, maybe a little bit more than that, maybe 75% punched out. And out of that, we still have, we have closed out half and have half left to work on.
Okay, good. Anybody have any questions on that?
Yep.
So should we take one vote, if no one objects, to approve GCO 22 contingency transfer DCT 062 and the prospective retainage reduction requests for Commonwealth and then the other 13?
Move to approve.
Second,
Thank you. Any discussion? Jeremy, call the roll, please.
All right, on all three motions, Dave,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
Jackie,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Harry,
yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Jeremy,
Yes.
Jack,
Excuse me, yes.
Kate,
Yes.
unanimous.
Okay, all of those pass. So is there anything else that you need to bring to our attention, Steve or Rachel? Do you want to talk about briefly about the over exuberance in the old school?
We can. We'll touch on that quickly. Various law enforcement groups have gone through the existing school for training purposes. Fire department was in there earlier this week as well. And there was a little bit of damage caused that will require a little bit of care and cleanup. We were calling it unintended consequences of the training. So we did have allowance money set aside for unforeseen things like this that we will most likely tap into. But we're developing the plan and working with everyone required to get it done.
Yeah, so we have some glass to clean up and some other things, correct?
Yep.
But after watching the video from Texas last night, I'm certainly glad, I hope we never need it, but I'm glad that our people had the opportunity to come in and train because that was certainly scary to watch.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll deal with that issue, and if there's any additional cost, we'll deal with it next month, Steve.
Yep.
Okay. I didn't, for some reason, page 3 didn't print out. Was there a third page, Jeremy?
The retainage reduction was the last agenda item.
Okay. All right, then I guess, you have anything else, Steve or Rachel, or should we move on to Mary Ann or Anjanette?
We're good on our side.
Those are wonderful words to hear.
I'm gonna try to share my screen. I don't know why I can't find the pull down. It's not showing up on my laptop where I can share. Darn it. Steve or Rachel, if I email this to you quickly, can you bring it up?
Yep.
I'll talk through some of the invoices. You'll see we have a number of individual entities. The way the city is procuring furniture, fixtures, equipment, AV, and IT through this project is individual purchase orders with vendors. So things like Red Thread and Ockers are furniture. Things like Apple and Heartland are technology. Briggs and STV you're used to seeing. And then the movers on the bottom. So over the next couple of months, you'll see these individual requisition amounts for things like these folks, Hub Technical, Pro AV, things like that, that we're going to be paying individually. in ways we hadn't seen before.
So Jeremy, you have approved everything from Red Thread down to Gentle Giant on our agenda?
Yeah, so things with furniture go through Casey with KBA, who does her punch list on furniture that's been delivered, verified as in good condition, and either installed or ready to be installed, depending on the piece. And then the technology is crosswalked with Scott Goodrich, also a sub-consultant. So we go through the proposals that were given to us, we crosswalk the invoices to them and make sure everything is on site and in good order before we recommend the invoice to SBC.
Okay, good. I can see now that we have the monthly summary. Anjanette, do you want to talk about that?
Absolutely. So for the month of June, the invoice for Skanska was $85,165. This invoice for Castle Blues was $109,085. Rachel, if you can scroll down just a little bit more. Okay, so then we have Consigli's invoice was $4,921,150. That was for contract work. The total value of their invoice was $5,019,127.69. And the values just above that are the change order work that was billed out for the month of June. That $5 million does not include any of the retainage reductions. That value is carried a little bit below in the amount certified value, a little bit below, little bit. There we go, right there. So the amount certified is this value, the $5,019,127.69 minus the retainage that's being held for the work that's left to complete. And that's the value that we have here. That's the amount that's certified. The miscellaneous project costs for the month were $15,565. Now those costs are related to the movers, they're related to the move manager, any of the testing agencies. That is separate from the FF&E. And the FF&E value there, the $327,609, those are the invoices Jeremy just referenced that are related absolutely to the IV, AT, and the furniture. And again, as Jeremy mentioned before, all of this has been vetted by the consultants as well as by Skanska. I went through all of it with them as well to make sure that it was accurate. So the total value of all the invoices is $5,556,552.17. And if we scroll up a little bit. Okay. So then once we reduce the retainage withheld, the total for the invoices is $5,322,149.64. And the reason that it's a tiny bit different from what Jeremy's got on his total here is last month, I believe the day of the meeting, we chose to include an invoice for STV. So I had included that in last month's, I'm sorry, that was included last month. And then we just got caught up this month with the values. So total, if we scroll down a little bit, the total completion for construction, we're at 84%. Overall, we are 83% billed out for the project.
And so we are still on budget, correct?
We are still on budget, absolutely.
So that remains great news that we are on time and on budget. So therefore, anybody have any questions on these numbers before we vote on the bills? Nobody has any questions tonight.
No.
So I guess that's good. So as long as we're here, is there a motion to approve the bills?
Move to approve the bills.
Second,
Thank you. Any further discussion? Jeremy?
All right, on the bills, Dave,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
Jackie,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Terry,
yes.
Ed. Yes. Mark,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Jeremy,
Yes.
Jack,
Yes,
Kate,
Yes.
unanimous.
motion passes. Anything else that you need to add, Anjanette? Any updates on the move or furniture deliveries or anything else we should know?
It's a challenge. It's a big building. There are a lot of wheels in motion right now. A couple of opportunities to pivot. I would say that I am super impressed with the mover, especially with what was realized yesterday. We had to make some immediate adjustments to the move schedule, and they took lemons and made lemonade. They did a great job. Didn't miss a beat. So super happy about that. There's furniture being installed. We've had some unforeseen little bumps in the road with that as well. And I got to say, as a team, we're all working together. Everybody's been super cooperative and helpful and mindful. And, we are very, very, very fortunate to have the team that we have. And I think that that's something we can all agree on. So, but the furniture installation should be continuing for the next 2 weeks. There were a couple of items that were, delayed. When they come in, they'll be installed just as soon as they can. The mover will be back on site a week from Monday. They'll start with the CTE shops and then go back, and some of the areas that weren't able to be moved, jump in and get those individuals into their offices, with all of their personal belongings. So we're still looking pretty good.
Excellent. Anybody have any questions for Anjanette?
Oh, one more thing. The piano move is happening on Friday. So that is, Eva will be on site, and we are all set for that to happen, without any surprises.
Thank you. Mary Ann, anything to add this month?
So other than that, I'm really pleased that we are at this stage of the project. There's been a lot of bigger things going on in the world that have an impact on availability of materials and supply chain issues. And we've done a pretty good job as a team to anticipate the bumps. Once in a while we miss spotting one out in front of us, but we nonetheless continue to navigate. And I think there's been a real strong collaborative spirit here amongst the team. And when I say team, I also mean school building committee and the working group. And it really, it takes a village to make something like this happen. So certainly to be at this stage of the project, if you look back where you were invited into the MSBA process back in 2014, you got to say to yourself, wow, look what we just did, So it's pretty impressive for the whole group. So that's all I have to say.
Excellent. Craig, anything you want to update us on?
No, no update on our end. Just the building is, as everyone says, progressing nicely. Every space is really near completion or complete with furniture going in, and especially with central office moving over. It's really been exciting, even as the architect working on the job. Is we always think as we're building a building for the people that occupy it, and it's basically a canvas for them to live in. And now that we're seeing central office move in, and I was saying that to Mr. Furtado today, is you're starting to see people's pictures show up on their desks, and those, it's really starting to become a building and really look like a school, and start to feel lived in. And we're just excited for the whole community to really start to occupy it and live in it when it's ready in the next couple months, and really becoming that flagship for the city and community of Attleboro.
Great. Joe, anything you need to add?
Nope, I'm fine. Thank you very much.
Okay. Dave, following up on what Craig just said, and Kate, you both are in your new quarters, correct?
That is
Yeah.
correct.
And you're managing to get your job done?
Without a phone.
We're creatively figuring out ways to get things done. Yes.
It's
All right,
also
good.
so impressive to see the work ethic of all of the teams involved in the project. I can't say enough how how professional and how well run all of the teams that I've been able to see recently work together. So it's a testament to everybody on the screen. Thank you all for what you're doing.
Thank you, and welcome aboard as an official member of the school building committee. So therefore, unless anybody has anything else, our next important date is August 16th.
August 16th is a ribbon cutting. I've been creating a master list of invitees, and that'll go around shortly. You'll get some more information on that. And then, despite what the agenda says, the next meeting is August 17th. And so the plan is to be in the Zito room in the new building on August 17th, right after the day after our ribbon cutting.
And so I know everybody would like to have the opportunity to see the building. Have we thought about at the ribbon cutting, are we going to offer any tours? Is that still to be determined? I'm sure that all of the people who are going to come to it, especially the politicians who will take credit for everything everybody in this meeting has done, will want to at least get a peek inside. So is there some way, Steve, that we can arrange that?
We could.
You're very enthusiastic.
Well, I thought the plan was to not do that, and I thought that was per the school, people in the school. It'll be their building at that point on the 16th, so I don't want to speak for them.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we have Jeremy have some conversations with the school administration, both central office and the principal's office, and see what, if anything, we can do. I do know that on the night of the 17th, if the school building committee members haven't seen, once we're in the building to the Zito room, I'm sure they're going to want to take a walk around.
I know that there was talk, Jack, about doing tours a little bit later for the community and having staff and students do some of the tours. But I'm sure Dave and I can talk and see what is available for smaller tours on the 17th for anyone who hasn't seen it.
Yeah, so the 24th of September is that community open house. That's a Saturday morning. So everybody can put that on their calendar as well. So we'll play the ribbon cutting by ear at this point and see what we get to. So anybody have anything else they want to bring up?
So did you want to discuss the Highland, the survey required over at Highland?
Yeah, so I guess I can just update the group that the parking lot that we created over there, the 353 car parking lot, was originally supposed to be taken up and restored to grassy area. But we had a meeting of a number of people yesterday, and we think that because it is probable that we will be selling off the Highland Clubhouse and its parking area, that we're going to need to retain that as the parking area for Highland. It would also be the parking area, not only for people using the park, but for the cross-country course, and if the pavilion gets built for that. So we are going to probably be putting together, do you have something you want to add?
And just the high school will have access to it for spillover parking for larger events, whether it's graduation, honor society, sporting events, whatever it is.
Yeah, so there could be some very good reasons not to spend money to take it up and to leave it there. I mean, it's fully engineered, it's fully constructed, it meets the city's stormwater standards. So we are probably going to be putting together a petition to the planning board and the Conservation Commission to make it permanent and see if we can proceed accordingly with those boards. But in order to close out the stormwater permit, we need to end up with an as-built plan. And so Joe is talking to Sammy Otis about what the cost would be for that as-built plan in order to close out that stormwater permit.
That's correct.
So Joe will update us on that and we'll let you all know. I don't think it would be a major cost, Joe, correct?
I could probably refer back to what it costs us to do the west fields now, that was probably about the same issue that we had. So I don't think it's going to be that extravagant a cost. No.
Okay. So it would be, in my mind, a shame to take that fully engineered parking lot up when we are going to have a significant need for it, assuming someone buys the Highland Clubhouse and its parking area. So under the circumstances, we'll do what we can as part of the project to finalize the stormwater permit with an as-built, and we will put together a petition to the two boards to make the parking lot permanent.
The only little caveat, Jack, is that there's no money in Sammy Otis's contract right now that's in addition to their original contract. So we would have to, they would have to give us a proposal just as any of the other design changes in the past. And then that would be approved by the SBC. The copy of the proposal would go to the MSBA. And Joe is going to check with internally. There are a number of different cost codes assigned to different activities within his contract. And we feel like there's one particular one where there would be some money available to cover these costs. So typically we do the SBC does a vote on the dollar value. I don't know how critical it is at this point, if this is something that has to happen before the next meeting, so we can get approval then?
No, it's not needed before the fall.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
And it wouldn't be something that would change our contract total.
Right.
It's something that would be billing out of a reimbursable line item set aside for additional survey work.
Right.
So
Okay.
we have several different reimbursable line items that we bill against, and it doesn't change our contract. So that it was just a way to, that's what the money's there for. So we would just use it for that purpose.
Yeah, and in our conversation yesterday with the conservation agent, he correctly pointed out that you always need to file an as-built to close out a permit. And so that's why we initiated this discussion this morning. And so we will keep everyone posted on that. Anything else anyone wants to bring up? Then I guess a motion is in order to adjourn at 6:11.
Move to adjourn.
Second,
Please call the roll.
Dave,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
Jackie,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Terry,
yes.
Ed. Yes. Mark,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Jeremy,
Yes.
Jack,
Yes,
Kate,
Yes.
we are adjourned.
we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Night. Thank you, everybody.
Good night.
Night.
Thank you.